What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and welcome back to another episode of the Premier League Perspective, coupled with our Premier League predictions for this weekend as well. But without further ado, let's get into the PL Perspective and the reviews and reviewing our predictions as well. As it stands, it is 15-8 to myself. Simeon's still not looking very happy about it, but he thinks he can claw it back over the space of the season.
Long time to go.
I'm not so sure about that, but look,
who's more likely to claw it back, me or Mourinho?
You probably.
There we go.
Look, let's get into the perspective, and let's start off with the Sheffield United West Brom game, which finished 2-1 to West Brom.
No,
I went
2-1 to
Sheffield United. Sorry, I went 1-0 to Sheffield United, so I get a point there. You went 0-0, so that brings it on to 16-8 to myself. How do you think the game went?
I didn't actually watch this one because I think Arsenal and West Wolves was playing at the same time. But look, very good win for Sheffield United. Keeps them in the hunt for the relegation spots.
Came from behind as well, didn't they?
They did come from behind, 1-0 down, so showing a lot of belief there. And also definitely given confidence in their last three games. Beat United, just lost to City 1-0. And now beating West Brom. So they're on good form. And they're going to look down at Brighton. And although Brighton won, they're going to look at they're going to be aiming to stay up, and I think that
they got it in them to do it. Do they?
I think they do. They have it in them to go on a bit of a run. I feel. I really do feel that. So although they've been obviously horrendous most of the season. Look, they're 11 points off Burnley in 17th. It's going to be very tough.
Order.
It's a tall order, but you never know. If they can get a few more wins, they can put themselves amongst it. So really fair enough. And Billy Sharp getting on the score sheet as well. Fair play to them.
Yeah, the guy that doesn't age, Billy Sharp.
But Sam Allardyce, West Brom, can't even get a point against Sheffield United. They're really in the mire at the moment in terms of their form.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Wolves against Arsenal. We can finally talk about an Arsenal loss again, as they lost.
Oh, that was nice.
2-1 at the Molineux. You went 1-1. I went 0-0, so we both got this one wrong. In terms of the game, though, it worried me a bit because Arsenal looked really good in that first half.
The red card spared our blushes, thank God.
Really
thank
did.
God.
Really did.
Thank the Lord for David Luiz. That's all I have to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was very, very harsh, that red card.
It was a harsh red card. Letter of the law. It was a red card, but due to the unintentional nature of the red, it was very, very harsh on David Luiz. The fact that he clipped Willie and Jose's foot as soon as he's about to shoot. I think it is a penalty, but I think to send him off for that, especially looking at the replay and given that it was completely unintentional, it's really, really harsh.
He literally knew nothing about it.
Literally. Yeah. But to be having said that, it was his mistake that allowed Willie and Jose in the first place, and also obviously they get a second red card later in the day. Bern Leno doing some ridiculous handball.
Volleyball.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying there, being like Superman in that second half, batting the ball away, punching it out for a throw-in, and obviously you see the second yellow, red card is there. Arsenal were all over them in the first half, and it could have been 2 or 3-0. Luckily for Wolves, it was only 1. And the penalty changed the game. And obviously that wonder goal from Moutinho in that second half won them the game. What a goal that was. Goal of the weekend.
Yeah, brilliant goal. Yeah, I'm just not that impressed with Wolves still. Even though they won the game, they needed sending off for that to happen.
Yeah, and even with 9 men, Arsenal looked more likely to score, which is worrying.
9 men, I was so impressed with the way Arsenal were working.
That's
man. I'm getting really worried about them, to be honest.
Well, look, they didn't get the win, but then it was another performance and the step in the right direction for them, which is a worrying thing. And with them very, very close to us, we got lucky this round, but are we going to get lucky next time? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Let's move on. Man United Southampton, which finished 9-0 to Man United. Another game where 2 sending offs. I mean, what did you make out of the sending offs in that game? Wait, let me just tell you what we went for. As you went 3-1 to Man United, so you got a point there. I went 1-1, so I get no points. So it's 16-9 to me. But what did you make out of the sending offs?
Yeah, first one was a clear one. Awful tackle in the second minute. That ruined the game for them. As soon as that red card goes against Southampton, it's game over pretty much. Because the way Southampton play, they can't play with 10 men because they're not that type of team. They're so gung ho in the way they play. As soon as you go down to 10 men, they're always going to struggle. And there was a guy making his debut as well, 2 minutes in, reckless challenge of McTominay. He's got to go. And it was always going to be difficult from then on. Obviously, they won a can to Man United 9-0. They were ruthless, completely ruthless in front of goal. Everyone getting on the action. In the second one wasn't a red. And actually, I can't understand VAR looking at that decision and looking at that and deciding that not only was it, I thought it wasn't even a penalty, but not only that, they look at it and decide that they sent him off.
At least they've done the right thing and rescinded it, though.
Exactly, they rescinded it, which is the right thing to do. But the fact that a referee can go over to the monitor and look at that and decide not only is it a penalty, but it's also a sending off now. I mean, the state of refereeing in this country is horrendous. It really is horrendous. Yeah.
And you saw how angry he was when he was going off. Did you see that clip?
Yeah, well, he said Martial admitted to him it wasn't a penalty. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a joke of a decision. It was a joke of a decision, and I feel bad for him. And obviously that led to them scoring another 3 goals in the last 10 minutes or whatever it was and got them the 9-0. And did you see this account on social media from a Southampton fan? It's called "Has the 9-0 been mentioned?"
Yeah, I saw that.
Absolutely fantastic stuff, because he's a Southampton fan. He's been pissed off like a year because every game Southampton play, the broadcasters mention the 9-0. So after each game, his Twitter handle is "Has the 9-0 mentioned?" He just says yes, and after each game, yes or no, yes.
It's been refreshed now. Now they're definitely going to be talking about it.
Yeah, and then during the game, he's like, "Please don't." He's like, "Please no, please." He's like, "No, this can't be happening. This can't be happening." and then it goes to 9-0. He was like, "All right, I'm out of here. I'm done."
Last time they lost 9-0, they went on an amazing run after that. You back them to it again?
I think I'll turn it around. Yeah, Southampton are a good team, and they're a very attacking team.
Isn't
he is, and he's got the Southampton team playing well. Obviously, the way they play can lead to inconsistent results, but because of the quality of their players. But I think they have a good season. I'm backing them to turn it around after losing 9-0.
All right, let's move on to Newcastle Palace, which finished 2-1 to Palace. I went 1-0 to Newcastle, and you went 2-1 to Newcastle. So we were backing Newcastle. Palace won the game.
Yeah.
Did you see much of the game?
Yeah, they took the lead. No, because I was watching United as well. But I know they took the lead in 2 long-range efforts from John Joe Shelvey and Riedewald. Made it even Stevens, and then Gary Cahill scored the winner. Very good win for Crystal Palace, but another stutter for Newcastle in their return to form. I thought after their win against Everton, maybe they can go on a bit of a run, but they've been halted again straight away. And if they're on such a bad run, Newcastle, they could be dragged into the relegation fight if they don't turn up some sort of form soon.
Let's move on. Burnley, Manchester City.
Yeah, it was easy does it, wasn't it, for
where is Burnley Man? Oh, here it is. Burnley Man City, which finished 2-0. We both predicted 3-0, so we both gained a point there. But yeah, it was a walk in the park for City, really.
Yeah, it was. There was two early goals, and they was able to see out the game. Burnley barely threatened. They're making light work of all these games at the moment, Man City. That's the worrying thing. They're the only team at the moment who are making light work of all the teams. Like in the bottom half, are just swatting them away, just batting them away. Was it 12 wins in all competitions in a row or something like that?
And without conceding nearly back as well.
Yeah, City are really on a roll, and they're making it easy. They're the only team right now who's making games, because Man United were winning games, but they were struggling to win. They're making it look easy at the moment, City. That's the worry, and they're just looks like they're going to run away with it. Obviously,
nobody can penetrate them. Nobody can score against them.
The run they're on, they look impenetrable. They really do, and they look like they're going to swat away every team. But obviously, there's certain times we've been crowned champions, Liverpool been crowned champions, Chelsea were top of the league. Obviously, it's City time now, but they look the most sustainable at the moment. But look, this season's so crazy, you just don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, I feel like this month will tell a lot about City, because they have had a fairly favourable fixtures over the last month or so.
They have, but it's one thing to have them and one thing to make the most of them.
Yeah, of course.
That's what they're doing.
They've been highly impressive, but I just want to say that they've got some hard fixtures coming. They got Liverpool this weekend. They got, well, I would say hard. They got us coming up. They got a few other harder teams coming up than they have played. So I think if they can carry on that form over this month, I think they'll be champions elect.
It'll be hard to catch them.
All right, next game, Fulham against Leicester. 2-0 to Leicester on the night. I went 1-1. You went 1-1 as well. But Leicester coming through, getting back to winning ways. Iniacho getting on the score sheet. What did you make out of the game?
It was all like James Maddison, this one.
I mean, he's on scintillating form, isn't he, James Maddison?
Great. 2 unbelievable assists, getting Leicester the win. They weren't even. I watched the game. It was fairly even. They weren't even. It was just 2 moments of quality won the game, and they got the point. With Leicester, they're usually very solid defensively. The only thing Leicester struggle sometimes when they're 1-0 down, if they concede the first goal, they can struggle to come back. But you always get the feeling once Leicester go ahead, they feel like they're not going to get paid back.
I feel like they're just a better version of us.
Pretty much. pretty much. But you look at their front line, you wouldn't say they've got better players, and it's just how they're doing it.
Because they're playing as a team. We're playing as individuals.
That's the worry. At the moment. Leicester keep plugging away with wins
without Jamie Vardy as well.
Fulham have been in good form. It's no easy feat to beat them, even without Jay. Well, I think is this their first win without Vardy?
I think so, yeah.
But Iheanacho are getting on the score sheet, and Maddison coming through for them. 2 really good assists from him, especially the second one, world class assist, setting up Justin, and they never really look like conceding.
Yeah. Let's move on to Leeds Everton. 2-1 to Everton at Ellen Road. We both corrected. We both got the scoreline completely spot on. I believe that's your first scoreline of these predictors.
It is my first.
So that's 5 points each there. So it's 22-15. The score is getting big now. But what did you see any of this game?
Yeah, I saw a bit of it. I actually thought Leeds were decent, especially when it went to 2-0. They did well to get back in the game, but Everton were too strong in the end. And obviously that second goal from the corner, Calvert-Lewin heading it in, that was a killer. And when a team like Everton go 2-0, it's very tough to get back in the game because they're very, very solid at the back. So another impressive win with Leeds just beating Leicester. So, it was no easy feat, but a solid win for Everton, and they're back on song after losing at home to Newcastle.
Yeah. Villa West Ham, 3-1 to West Ham at Villa Park. I went 2-2. You went 2-1 to Villa. I mean, West Ham are just pulling off result after result after result.
What a win that is.
I mean, how impressive is it to go to Villa and win 3-1? Villa have been a good side this season.
Not only did they win 3-1, they deserved it. Completely deserved it.
Jesse Lingard coming in, scoring 2 goals on his debut.
Which both of them should have been saved.
Another 2 assists for Antonio as well. Souček getting on the score sheet as well. I mean, Souček doesn't stop scoring. Antonio's playing really well up front. The plaudits keep coming in for West Ham, and it's fully deserved.
Yeah, and they deserved the win. Antonio as well, he had a lob cleared off the line by Mings as well. Could have been more than 3-1. Villa had pulled a goal back for Ollie Watkins, but it was enough. What they did actually, West Ham, they put 2 right backs on the right hand side. They had Soufal and they had Ryan Fredericks, both dealing with Jack Grealish, and he couldn't get away from them. And he really struggled to get in the game.
Masterclass from David Moyes.
Yeah, you have to say. And Antonio really has been on sensational form throughout whenever he's played since the start of lockdown. So he's now one of the most informed strikers in the league at the moment. The goals and assists he's getting. What he's getting out of Souček as well is really, really impressive. And they keep plugging away with really impressive wins. So you got to say they look like they're going to be in it for the long haul at the moment, West Ham, the way they're playing.
Yeah.
And David Moyes is getting a second wind in his managerial career. You got to say that. So fair play to West Ham, because you look at their squad. You wouldn't think they have the best squad, but they really are putting in some really impressive team performances at the moment. With Craig Dawson at the back, you're thinking surely he can be got at, but he's putting in some good performances at the moment. Craig Dawson has a higher XG in the last 3 games than our whole team.
It's just embarrassing. Let's move on to Liverpool Brighton. Back-to-back defeats at Anfield for Liverpool. Brighton win 1-0, and you would have thought that after that Spurs game, after that they beat West Ham,
comprehensive wins.
You would have thought that Liverpool were back, but no, Brighton put in an absolutely astonishing display at Anfield and take the 1-0 lead, 1-0 win.
Yeah, they complete deserved as well.
Completely deserved. You went 3-0 Liverpool, I went 3-1 Liverpool.
So you got the one right.
Yeah.
But Brighton, they completely deserved the win. Completely deserved the win. Doesn't flatter them at all. Liverpool barely created it. It wasn't like the Burnley game where Liverpool created chances and Pope bailed Burnley out. This was one where
rubbish, weren't they?
Brighton could have won by more. They'll probably be disappointed there was only 1-0. Liverpool looked completely off it again. Roberto Firmino was completely anonymous. They completely struggled going forward. Brighton played their game, and they didn't just sit back and defend, but they played their game to perfection and completely deserved the win against Liverpool. And back-to-back wins against us and against Liverpool. Very, very good week for Brighton for them, and especially in the relegation fight. And it looks like they could be coming good now. Yeah,
it really so true. I mean, 6 points against us and Liverpool. I mean, was it at the Amex? At the Amex and at Anfield. I mean.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from Potter. Really is.
And let's just breeze past this one. Obviously, Tottenham against Chelsea. 1-0 Chelsea. You went 1-1. I went 0-0. And it finished 1-0. So we'll move past that one.
Yeah.
And now let's just go through our predictions for the upcoming games. It's just worth to note that finished on 22-15 to me. So let's see if you can do any catching up this week. Let's start off at Villa against Arsenal. What are you going for?
Villa 3, Arsenal 1.
Ooh, really?
I'm going 3-1
No
Arsenal.
Leno,
No Leno.
no Louise.
Well, that's probably a help instead of a hindrance. But I'm feeling Villa will definitely want a reaction to that defeat against West Ham. They want to get back to winning ways. I don't know if they're going to have the tactical nous to deal with Grealish like West Ham did. And I'm hoping Watkins is going to get some joy. So I think also Villa are more defensively solid than people give them credit for. And I know Arsenal will be in good form, but I'm going for, if they have Runnison in goal, which they might do. Looks like it's Matt Ryan. I think
Matt Ryan's injured, yeah.
So I think he could. They could be in for a tough afternoon.
Yeah, I echo those thoughts, and that's the reason why I've gone 2-1 Villa.
2-1.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think they'll get a goal from somewhere, but I've gone for Villa to get the win.
Burnley Brighton.
I've gone for 1-0 Brighton.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
I've gone for 0-0.
You gone for 0-0?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The reason I've gone for 0-0, it's at Turf Moor. Burnley like to keep it tight at the back, as everyone knows, and they've been on good form recently, especially at Turf Moor. Brighton, yeah, they're on the back of 2 1-0 wins against Liverpool and us, but I think they will be brought back down to earth a little bit in this game.
I think they're riding a wave of momentum at the moment, Brighton. They're playing really, really well, some really good stuff. And I back them to get another win on the road here this time against Burnley. And we all know how Burnley like to play. I feel like if Brighton play their game, they can play in a certain way that not giving Burnley set pieces and things in possession, and they could get a lot of joy out of this. All right,
let's move on. Newcastle Southampton.
I'm going 2-0 Southampton.
So am I.
2-0.
Yeah.
2-0 Southampton.
2-0 Southampton. I'm backing them to respond after that 9-0 defeat.
And I think a team like Newcastle as well, who has recently have come out to play a bit more, and that could suit Southampton, because if Newcastle break their shape and go a bit more attacking to go for a win or get a few goals, it could really open up space for players like Ings and Che Adams to really cause some havoc. So, although they lost 9-0 and they have the red card rescinded, I think Southampton will look to respond to that like they did last time.
Yeah. Fulham West Ham at Craven Cottage.
Who you got?
2-1 to West Ham.
Same.
2-1
West Ham.
I just can't see it past West Ham in this game. I know. I've been impressed with Scotty Parker and his Fulham side. The way they turned around, because at the beginning of the season it looked like they were just foregone conclusion for the drop. They looked like they were definitely going down. But right now you would say they're likely to stay up potentially. Or they got a chance to stay up at least.
Yeah,
and I think
they're still far.
Yeah, they are. But I think West Ham will just have a bit too much for them. They're just on banging form, aren't they?
Yeah,
West Ham?
They seem to find goals from somewhere, West Ham, whether it be set pieces or on the break, or using Antonio's pace or Souček. Exactly. So they are finding the goals at the moment. So you got to say Fulham never really make you think that they're going to get a lot of goals in the game. They have to keep it tight to stay competitive, but I feel like West Ham have enough in them to go away at Craven Cottage and get the win and keep up their good form.
All right. Man U Everton at Old Trafford.
I've gone 1-1.
So have I.
You've also gone 1-0.
I've gone 1-0. I feel that after this 9-0, Man U are going to be pegged back a little bit, brought back down to earth a little bit. I haven't been impressed with Man United in the past couple of games before the 9-0, and I felt that they only did have that convincing victory because of that sending off in the first few minutes. So I think that they will be brought back down to earth against a good Everton side.
Yeah, Everton, they're very, very solid side, and they're not going to make it easy for Man United like Southampton. Southampton came to play, and Everton are going to come there to frustrate.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're good enough as well with Richarlison, although he's been really off form this season. I think he can. He's got enough quality in him, and with Calvert-Lewin as well, to conjure up a goal from somewhere. And if they do get a goal, I can't see Man United scoring that many. So I'm going to go. That's why I went 1-1.
Yeah, the thing is with Richarlison, he's off form in terms of output, but I always feel like they look like a much better side with him in it than with him out.
Yeah, of course they do. He's their best player.
Yeah. Spurs West Brom. I've gone 1-0 Spurs.
Same. 1-0 time. I've gone out to sneak it.
Yeah.
Sneak it 1-0. I can see a really boring game.
Yeah.
With just one goal from somewhere.
Big Sam against Jose.
Just like fluke here, own goal or something, or just a cross in the box and it's just a corner. I feel like we'll have something to get a goal, and if we do concede against this West Brom side, then we're really. We're in trouble anyway, but we shouldn't be conceding against this West Brom side.
Yeah.
No matter what.
All right. So the last 3 predictions have been exactly the same from us two. Must be that brotherly connection, you know.
Happened a few times.
Yeah, Wolves Leicester.
This one I don't know if we have the same. I've gone 1-0 Wolves.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
I've gone 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, I've
That's
gone for a Desmond.
I feel like Wolves are very strong defensively, or they can be when they want to be. I know they got found out by Arsenal a bit, but Saka and Pepe are running riot. I don't think Barnes and Brighton will do the same. They'll do more to shackle Maddison than like Fulham did, and I reckon they can nick a goal with Willian. I think Willian Jose's made a half decent start to his Wolves career. Maybe he hasn't got a goal yet, but he's looked like he's fitting in decently to they're looking like they're learning how to play with him. Obviously they got that morale boosting win against Arsenal, which was their first win since Chelsea, which is back in I think end of November, beginning of December, so it's been a while. So obviously they got their monkey off the back, so it's going to give them confidence. And although Leicester got the win against Fulham, I think it's going to be harder for them to get goals in this one, so I went for Wolves to sneak it.
Yeah, in terms of Wolves, I just haven't been impressed all season with Wolves. I just really haven't. Even against Arsenal, when they won the game, I wasn't impressed with them.
They've got a capability of going on a decent run, don't they?
They do have a capability, but I just think this Leicester side will nick something out of the game. Without Jamie Vardy, they're still going to have chances to score. They're still going to be a threat with whoever they have there. Maddison can pull something out the bag from anywhere, you know what I mean? So I think Leicester will get the chances to score. I think Wolves, like you say, will have their tails up a little bit by getting a result against Arsenal, but I feel this one was going to be a stalemate. Could be 1-1, but I've just gone 2-2.
All right.
Liverpool City, the big one.
You first.
1-0 City.
2-1 City, I went.
2-1.
2-1 City. I think although City have been a very, very solid defensively, they still leave a lot of risk at the back, and they've just been very good at mopping up. But with Salah and I don't know if Mane's back, with them two there, I can see them scoring Liverpool. But I think City at the moment, they're just finding ways to hurt oppositions, and I'm sure with Liverpool's back line, they're not going to waste that opportunity to hurt them. So I'm backing to get a couple goals.
For me, Liverpool have been struggling to score. Last two games at Anfield, 1-0 against Burnley, 1-0 against Brighton. So I'm going for 1-0 again. I'm keeping the trend going. 1-0 losses at Anfield. Yeah, Liverpool look good against us and they look good against West Ham. But I think all in all, they haven't been looking good going forward the last couple of weeks. And City just look unstoppable and impenetrable. So I've gone 1-0 City.
Okay.
Sheffield United, Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea.
Yeah, I've gone exactly the same.
2-0 Chelsea.
I think it's going to be a ball game. I think Chelsea are going to put around a lot of passes, nick a few goals on a few breaks, and that's about it, really.
Yeah, Sheffield United, although they have their tails up and it probably will be a close game, I just think Chelsea have got the momentum at the moment and they've got the superior quality compared to Sheffield United. And I think they're not going to be caught cold like Man United were, so I think Chelsea to win this one. All
right, and last but not least, Leeds against Palace at Ellen Road.
I've gone 2-2.
2-2.
2-2.
I've gone close, but I've gone 3-2 to Leeds.
3-2 Leeds?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
I've gone 3-2 Leeds because I feel like with Palace, they've always got an opportunity to score with Zaha and Eze. I think both of them have been really good this season. But I feel like with Leeds, they're going to leave a lot of space at the back, so I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this game. But I feel that they've got the firepower to win this game. Bamford has really impressed me this season.
I think they've got the firepower to score a couple. I don't know if they have a firepower to score 3. We'll have to wait and see, because obviously we know Palace, when they shut up shop, they can be quite decent, and they just got a win away at Newcastle 2-1, so they're going to be quite happy with that. And I can see Leeds scoring a couple. I can see Palace running around on the counter as well. So that's why I've gone for 2-2.
All right, so there you have it. Those are our predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comment section below, as we'll bring you a review of our predictions next week, I think on Tuesday, because Monday is the last game this weekend. So yeah, there you have it. Let me know your predictions in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.